Nearly 92 million U.S. adults, or about 38% of the U.S. population, took a legitimately prescribed opioid like Oxycontin or Percocet in 2015, according to results from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health. Um, Today, I want to talk about something that I am a really big advocate for, and that would be legalizing marijuana. And the reasons I want to legalize marijuana isn't because I smoke marijuana or um, use marijuana. It's the fact that I've seen it actually help people and change people's lives. I had a best friend who lost her life to addiction, and that is also something marijuana has seen to help and curb is addiction. Those who were on hardcore drugs and now are living life at ease. Today I want to talk about how legalizing marijuana can curb the opioid epidemic. Opioids are something that are given to people who suffer chronic pain, arthritis, epilepsy, seizures. The list is on and on. It's whatever health issue you are facing. But in addition to relieving that pain, people are prescribed painkillers. So this is what blows my mind. Over the past 2 decades, deaths from drug overdoses have become a leading cause of injury death in the United States. In 2011, 55% of those drug overdoses were death related into prescription medications. 75 of those deaths were involved with opioid painkillers. However, researchers found that opioid-related deaths decreased approximately by 33% in the 13 states in the following 6 years marijuana was legalized. And so if you think about it, if marijuana was legalized everywhere, those numbers would decrease even more. Some more evidence that I had found was that in states that had legalized medical marijuana, U.S. hospitals failed to see a predicted influx of pot smokers, but in an unexpected twist, they treated far fewer opioid users. But hospitalization rates for opioid painkiller dependent and abuse dropped 30% in this 30% on average in the states that had legalized marijuana, and hospitalization rates for opioid overdoses had dropped 13% on average. And so once again, if you think about if you legalized it everywhere and it was available to those who need it medically or medicinally, those numbers would decrease even more. And those who were once getting pain prescriptions, given to them are now having marijuana legally given to them. Those prescriptions are no longer on the street, and they can no longer just be given out to anybody. At the same time, the fears of legalization of marijuana would lead to an uptick in cannabis-related hospitalizations proved unfounded, according to a report in the Drug and Alcohol Dependence. Um, Instead, there's a quote that I found, and it was, instead, medical marijuana laws may have reduced hospitalization related to opioid pain relievers. And this was said by a professor or a health professor in the University of California in San Diego named Yun Yoin Chai. And so another thing was when I was younger, when I had my 2 surgeries, they had given me Percocet and oxycodone, and my mom took those medicines away from me and didn't want me to take those medicines very often because she was afraid that I would get addicted to it, that I would rely on it, and that was something that I didn't need, that no kid ever needs. And I just feel like if you were to legalize it, that it would help those who are facing chronic pain, and I feel like it would decrease the number of or legalized, oxycodone or opioid prescriptions would go down, because then those people would be able to have marijuana, and addiction rates would go down because the prescriptions wouldn't be going out. And so, I mean, yes, there's going to be a little bit of everything going on, but in all, the numbers would decrease as a whole. And as a millennial, I feel like our generation is in a need of change, in a need to help those and to help our older generations, and just to help make a change and to see something. And one thing I didn't say is that marijuana isn't man-made. It's natural. It is a plant. And so that is another thing. I mean, it's God-made, so what else would you do with it besides use it for medicine? So, thank you.